The Texas Longhorns beat the Arizona State Sun Devils in an OT thriller, a double OT thriller. The number 5 Texas squandered a 16-point lead in the fourth quarter, missed 2 field goals in the final 2 minutes of regulation, and still somehow managed to escape with a 39-31 double overtime win over the number 4 seed Arizona State in the Peach Bowl, the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Ocho,
hey,
I know Sark, as I just texted him, congratulations. We're gonna try to get him on here one of these over the next couple of days, so maybe we can get him on there. They're flying back now, so we would have had his ass over here tonight. Had him on here tonight, but man, this was a game. Ocho, this is how it's supposed to be. Ain't nobody trying to see no double digit. Everybody winning by double digit.
Listen, I thought it was. Listen, the way it started out, Unc, I thought Arizona State was gonna get blowed out. Now,
I did too. 14. What was it? 14 to what was it? 14-3? 14.
Yeah, but they jumped out on top of them boys' head. I was like, oh man, I'm finna turn the channel. And then obviously things started to change, things started to move. And I don't know what's wrong with college kickers. Hell, I don't even know what's wrong with NFL kickers. You have one job. You do one thing the entirety day of practice. You kick the ball. That's it. Texas kicker almost cost them. They missed 2 key field goals that could have sealed the win. Now, they did win the game, but ain't no telling what could have happened. Ain't no telling what could have happened. That goddamn Cam, how you say young bull last name to run it? State? Skattebo?
Skattebo? Is it Skattebo? Because they were saying Skattebo, they say Skatbo. I mean, I'm confused.
You know what I'm gonna call him? I'm gonna call him Scat Pack. I'm gonna call him Cam Scat Pack. Hey, he's nice, boy. He's nice. He's nice. He's a senior too. He coming out, huh?
Skattebo. Cam Skattebo.
Okay, Cam Skatback Skattebo. I know you probably gonna see this. I know you probably watching the show. Listen, if you don't see it, I know my son gonna let you know. Boy, you the real deal, boy. You hear me? He a senior, huh?
Yeah, I think so. He's a senior.
Well, you know where you belong? You belong. He run the ball like he belong to play. He's supposed to play for the Ravens or the Browns.
Yeah.
He's supposed to play for the Ravens or the Browns.
He gonna be a rarity. He gonna be one of the white running backs. They don't come along very often. But normally when they come along, Ocho,
you know he gonna be like. I'm gonna give you a good name right here. Tell me if you remember this. Peyton Hillis.
Yeah.
Little Peyton Hillis. Don't give up. Yeah. Run hard. If you get in the way, he can shake you a little bit. He got a little move to him now.
Well, you remember Hillis was in that backfield with Darren McFadden and the other kid that went to the Cowboys. Yeah. What's the other guy name? I mean, they were doing it. You remember McFadden and I can't think of the guy's name. What's the guy's name, guy? I know y'all people talking about Toby Gerhart, the old Cardinal, Stanford Cardinal. What's he was at Arkansas. Felix Jones.
Oh, I remember Felix Jones. Yeah.
Darren McFadden, yes. All it was in the backfield. Yeah. Yes. But this is where a game's supposed to be. Quinn Ewers, 20 of 30, 322, 3 touchdowns, 1 interceptions. They didn't run the ball particularly well. 30 carries, 53 yards. Golden had a big catch. 7 for $149. Helm had 3 for 56. And Ocho. Yeah. I think Arizona State's gonna be kicking themselves. I think they kind of let this one go. Yeah. You can't let that guy get over your head in that situation, Ocho. That touchdown, that first touchdown in OT, Ocho, you can't let it.
That should have been the number 1 rule from the coach. Keep everything in front of you. Everything.
Number 1 rule, Ocho. The number 1 rule late in the ball game. Nothing cheap, nothing deep.
Keep it in front of you.
Nothing cheap, nothing deep. I don't care if he catches a 15-yard right in front of me. It's when you try to be the hero and get you a cheap hit that gets you in trouble. Ain't no way. Safety, you the last line of defense. If he's even with you, you're
a wrap.
wrong.
It's a wrap.
Hey, Ocho, it was 4th down.
4th and 13.
Ocho, you cannot give that up. You can't.
Oh.
Ocho, my heels on the goal line. I'm thinking, as a matter of fact, I think they throwing a Hail Mary. Ocho, I'm on the goal line. My heels on the goal line. Knock it down. Knock it down. Man, you're not getting past
right.
me. I'm not gonna give you no cheap tub.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't even want to blame the coaches. I don't want to blame coaching. As a player in that situation, you got to have some type of awareness. Some type of awareness and understanding. Understand the situation that you're in. And know you can't get beat. Not in that situation at all. And if I am, let him make a great play. But let me be in position. If you're gonna make the play, at least let me be in position. And he have to make a great play in order to catch that.
Man, I was like, oh my goodness. On 4th and 13, you give up that. But I think Arizona State showed that they belong.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody was like, well, they didn't belong, that weak conference, and they didn't do this, and this team didn't do that. They gave Texas all they could handle.
They definitely belong.
And more. Ocho, when you watch Quinn Ewers, what you think?
You know, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell at this level. Obviously, to me, if you have enough talent around you, enough players at this kind of level, any quarterback can look good, huh? So what kind of quarterback is Ewers? Is he the type of quarterback that go to the NFL and elevate the talent around him? Or is the kind of quarterback where he needs the talent around him to be able to elevate?
Yeah, I don't see him elevating anybody. I really don't. And the mere fact that he's thinking about coming back lets you know. Because normally guys...
come back where?
He's going to come back to Texas. He's going to transfer. I don't see him going to the league.
He's not going to see the field before with Arch Manning.
Arch?
Yeah, oh no. I mean, if he's going to come back, he's probably going to come back somewhere else. But I doubt it's Texas because he's not going to be Arch Manning out.
I mean, I've been reading, I don't know if these reports are true, Ocho, but I've been reading that some team, some college team got $6 million in NIL money for him. I mean, when I just watch him, I'm like, bro, that ball that he threw that got picked, I'm trying to figure out
the loaf that he loafed it.
Yes, that hospital ball.
I don't know.
I still don't know where he was throwing it because the backside safety and the front side was there. So I'm just trying to figure out. So okay, well, who? What did you see? What did you think?
I know what did happen on that play right there. They ran it in practice multiple times, and in practice it was open. In practice,
you know why it was open? You know why it was open? Tell the people at home what they say. They tell the safety to do what? Jump to underneath so we can throw the ball over your damn head.
That's exactly what he did. That's why he ball. Anyway, instead of understanding and reading your coverage, and you just letting the ball go, and it's not open.
Because that's what happens. What happens is you go draw the thing up, and there's the guy circle. Okay, we want to throw the ball. Now the guy that's running the scout team said, "Hey, safety, you drop the crossing route, and we're gonna throw the post over your head." Boom. Well, come game time, hey, can you drop this over? Can you drop this over route so we can throw the post behind your head? He gonna read it.
Right.
Duh, you should read it. But you see what happens, Ocho? When you make your mind up pre-snap that you throwing the ball, that's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens. He had his mind made up. I'm throwing this post no matter what. Bro, ain't no way you read that and said, you know what? I'm throwing this. And then he throws it like a punt.
Yeah.
That's got to be on the line. But even if it was on the line, first of all, that was targeted too because the backside guy left his feet and hit the guy in the chest. But they didn't want to we can't call that targeting, blah, 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 because they returned the favor because by the letter of the law, the Texas guy targeted. But they didn't want to impact the game in that way. They said, oh, no targeting. But that was absolute targeting.
Yeah.
He went helmet to helmet. And the other guy left his feet. He launched. They say you can't launch yourself and hit the guy in the neck or the shoulder area. He launched, and they say you can't use your helmet, the crown of your helmet, to make a tackle. He went helmet to helmet with the guy. But it's like, man, we can't impact this game like this here.
They pick and choose. They pick and choose when to call it now.
Absolutely right.
They got to find some level of consistency when you're making these calls.
Texas had 375 total yards. Arizona State had 510. Total rush yard, Texas had 53. Arizona State had 214. Quinn Ewers was 20 of 30, 332, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Sam Levitt, 24 of 46, 222, no touchdowns, 1 interception. But that last interception, Muhammad made a great play. Give him credit. I mean, sometimes, Ocho, we keep blaming the quarterback, like you threw that, blah, blah, blah. But you know, the defensive guys, they study film too. He made a hell of a play.
Very good.
And he didn't settle with just trying to break it up. He caught the ball. He caught it. And it's okay. You know, hey, 84, you got to make that play. Hey, coach, he get paid too. Wait, you think Bronco players the only one that make money in the NFL? No, don't. And they study film, and they got coaches too. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, hey, I understand. I'm supposed to make the play, but you know, it's the NFL. Everybody can make a play. I'm going to win more than I lose. But hey, that guy made a hell of a play on that interception to seal this victory, Ocho.
Did.
But you can't get beat on 4th and 13, Ocho, over the top quarter. You cannot. You can't, Ocho. You cannot.
No.
I was like, bro. I said, are you serious?
That should have been a conversation had with the not just the head coach, the defensive coordinator, the DB coach, the secondary coach, the man upstairs in the booth. Don't get beat deep. You can't. You can't.
Nothing cheap, nothing deep. I am not. You will not complete this ball over my head. You're not. Because, Ocho, at worst case scenario, I'm going to make you line it up again and try to run another series of downs in order to get the ball in the end zone. Now, the only thing you can hope is that once that guy gets over your head, either Quinn Ewers underthrows him or the guy drops the football. But hey, now it's out of your hands. See, I want to play in my hands, Ocho. I want to play in my hands. I get him on the ground. That's all I got to do, get him on the ground. Well, you get him on the ground in the end zone, it's still a touchdown. You don't get no tackle for that. You got to tackle him in the field of play or push his ass out of bounds in order for you to get a tackle. Once he in the end zone, guys, and do me what, Ocho, can guys do me a favor, college kids? If a guy get a first down, can y'all stop celebrating? What did you do?
Hey, come on, Unc. Wait a minute now. Come on now. You get that first down.
Ocho, the guy got the first down.
When you get that first down, you got to.
No, I'm talking about the defense.
Oh, the defense. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got a big hit on somebody. He got a first down.
Oh, I thought you made a receiver. Okay.
No. I'm like, bro. I'm like, what? Maybe I missed something. I said, let me rewind this because I want to see what you did. It's still a first down. Now, look, these college kids, they're going to celebrate that. I don't mind them celebrating. And plus, Ocho, if you make a tackle, I mean, as a defender, what's your job? Make a tackle?
Yeah.
You can't celebrate every tackle. I mean, if you get a sack, Ocho,
tackle for loss.
Yeah. Tackle for a loss. You get a sack, Ocho, a big key third down. You know, you want to do this. I get all that. But bro, the guy get 3-4 yards and you jump up celebrating. Come on now. Now we doing way too much with this. Like
they having a good time out there, man.
Gee, Skattebo.
Scat pack, man.
30 carries, 143 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 8 catches, 99 yards. Had that guy not pulled his face mask, he's gonna drag his, you know what, into the end zone. Ocho, Skattebo was so outstanding. He was named Peach Bowl Offensive Player of the Game.
Yeah. Hey,
you don't see that very often.
His name is Scat Pack.
Skattebo?
Scat Pack.
Skattebo. Scat Pack. Well, Scat Pack did something that you don't see very often. A guy winning Offensive Player of the Game from a losing team.
Yeah.
It's only happened, you know, Jerry West, the first year they gave out Finals MVP in 1969, Jerry West won the award on a losing squad. They lost the championships 4-3. The final game they lost on their home court. Again, now you got to go back to the in the football. Chuck Howley, he won Super Bowl MVP on a losing squad. They lost 16-13 to the Colts. Chuck Howley was the MVP. That's the only time that I can remember somebody from the losing squad winning an award. Now, I'm not saying that maybe it's happened. I don't know if in baseball, if somebody's won a World Series MVP from the losing squad. I have to go way back, but I don't remember it. I don't think it's happened in the last 25, 30 years. But it just goes to show you just how outstanding that this gentleman was from the Sun Devils, running and catching the football.
He was. He belongs. When you're able to perform like that against a team like that, it lets you know you belong, regardless of the conference you play in.
Oh yeah. But you can tell guys that the talent shine above.
Yeah.
You can tell. I mean, that's an SEC defense, and he went and got a buck 30. He went and got a buck 43 on him, and he almost had 100 yards receiving. So he had 200 and what's that? 242 yards of total offense. That ain't bad. And 2 touchdowns against an SEC defense.
Look good.
When you go play, and if you're at a small school, Ocho, if you play upper level, say you go to Division II and you play FCS, or you FCS and you play D1, the talent will shine through. Darius Leonard, when he played Clemson, he was at South Carolina State. He had 29 tackles. Oh, he could play. I played Georgia Southern. They were the 1AA national championship the year we played them. I dropped 202 on them. Oh, he could play. Elon was the NIA national championship the year before. I dropped 221 on them. Oh, damn. He did that.
And you know what? This is another conversation that I always like to have, where young players coming out of high school, they're always so focused on all their offers and where they're going. And I say it again, if you really like that, and you feel you're as good as you think you are, it really don't matter where you go. Because you can put up performances like that, which you were able to do against better teams, which you were able to do better talent. For sure. Or being like Scat Pack and coming out there and performing very well.
You know, Ocho, I think a lot of times when you cut on the TV and you see that horseshoe pack, or you see 108,000 at Texas A&M, you see 100,000 at Georgia, you see 93,000 at Alabama, you see 105,000 at Tennessee.
Dang.
Kids like, I want to play in front of that. That's all. I mean, that's what I want. That's what I wanted, Ocho, because that's what I saw on television. I didn't see no HBCU.
Right, but see, I understand what you're talking about. But then now we go into the issue of, okay, I want to go to these big schools where they have players that have been there before me, and I get there and they tell me, oh, I got to wait my turn. Or I might not touch the field as much because we have so-and-so and he has seniority over you. Not about, you know what, I'm coming in here to compete for the job, but you mean to tell me he has seniority over me, so he's probably going to play before me? Instead of let me have an opportunity to beat him out, regardless of what his grade level is. Juniors,
they had no choice.
It don't matter.
Oh, they had to play me, Ocho.
You think Jeremiah Smith was going to go to Ohio State and have to sit behind somebody that's a senior or junior because they've been there for three or 4 years? Man, shit, man, please.
Hey, you better get on up out of there then, because, hey, you know who coming. Hey, they had to play me, Ocho.
Yeah.
Oh, what? You thought? Oh. I was one of the few freshmen that traveled. I ain't just traveling. Oh, you can travel this week. Man, travel to do what? Stand on the sideline of my uniform? Oh, hell nah. And the first game we played, Ocho, our first home game. Man, I was so embarrassed, Ocho. I caught a go ball, Ocho. 56 yards. Got tackled on the 1.
Come on, huh? You got it.
My first catch in college.
Hold on. What you embarrassed for?
Man, that's supposed to be a 57-yard touchdown, not a 56-yard catch.
Well, which way you got to stiff him, huh? You got to catch that thing and get that stiff arm back behind him.
Ocho, it felt like I was running. It felt to me like I was running in slow motion. I was like, damn, is somebody pulling the end zone away from me? Damn. Ocho, the game that you just watched, the Ohio State Buckeyes took apart the #1 team in the country, the Oregon Ducks, 41-21 in the Rose Bowl. Ohio State gets their revenge. It was one of their 2 losses on the season. They lost earlier in the year to Oregon in Oregon. But tonight, they were really no match. Jeremiah Smith set the stage early. He had 7 catches, $187 and 2 touchdowns. But this was really a mismatch from the word jump. And I think this is what's so frustrating about Ohio State, because you see what they can be. Now, this is the team that took apart the #1 team in the country by 3 touchdowns, and lost on their own home field by a team that they were favored by 3 touchdowns. That's what's frustrating about them, and I think that's what. But Ryan Day, give him credit. We've been very critical of him. Not critical. We were critical of the game that he lost, losing to Ohio, losing to Michigan year in and year out. Having that level of talent that you've had. Think about the quarterbacks that they've had. Think about the wide receivers. Think about the D linemen. Think about the DBs from the Denzel Wards and the Jeff Okudas and all those guys that's come out of there. And you ain't got no national championship to show for it. All those receivers, Marvin Harrison Jr., Jackson Smith and Jigba. You got Chris Olave. You got Garrett Wilson. Look at those D linemen from Chase Young to Nick Bosa. Look at those quarterbacks. Justin Fields, and you had, rest his soul, what's the guy that lost his life tragically? Dwayne Haskins. You had the other quarterback. And you can understand why people are like, hold on, come on, Coach Day. You got this level of talent. They had a top 6, top 7 pick last year, the offensive tackle position. They're like, Coach Day, you got this level of talent and you losing to Michigan and you ain't got no national championship, but all will be forgiven if he takes this thing and finishes it out. But Ohio State looked good today, Ocho. They ran the ball well. They threw the ball well. They stopped that high-powered offense of Oregon. It looked very pedestrian, very mundane.
It did. Listen, I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong, but I think the week off, I think it did more harm than good for them to be as flat as they look today, as well as Oregon has played all season long, being the #1 team in the country. And the way they showed up today, that had to be a little bit of rust. And not only was it a little bit of rust, but it was too late, and there was no room for the rust when you're playing somebody like Ohio State, who had a point to prove after losing the first time they met early in the season. And that's exactly what they got. Jeremiah Smith, he said ahead of time that if you play one-on-one, if you play one-on-one, you're not going to be able to cover me. He went out there and did exactly what he was supposed to do and handled his business. The funny thing about it, people right now are talking about Jeremiah Smith and how great he is and how good he is. And he's probably now, even as a freshman, probably the #1 receiver in the country right now as a freshman. I've been watching Young Bull at Chaminade down there in Miami, for a few years. He been like that. In Little League, he was like that. At Ohio State, he is like that. When he get drafted into the NFL, he's still going to be like that. He been like that for a long time. Outside of that, man, Ohio State looked very, very well. Again, hoping Coach Ryan Day can finish the task at hand. And for all the great players that have come through Ohio State, they can hoist that trophy at the end of the day.
Yeah. Oh, C.J. Stroud was a quarterback. You had C.J. Stroud, no national championship. Justin Fields, no national championship. Dwayne Haskins, no national championship. That's 3 quarterbacks taken in the first round. Now, Olave, first-round pick. Garrett Wilson, first-round pick. Jackson Smith and Jigba, first-round pick. Marvin Harrison Jr., first-round pick. Chase Young, the #2 pick. Nick Bosa, the #2 pick. Jeff Okuda, Denzel Ward. Come on now, Ocho. Come on, Ocho. I mean, people, they make it seem like we just making stuff up. You got that level of talent year in and year out, and you ain't won no national championship? And people like, oh, they're being too hard, bro. And you lose it to Michigan? I don't think, I personally don't think that's a stretch when you got that level of talent that's coming out year in and year out, and you're underachieving. There's no other way around it, Ocho. Coach Day, you did a phenomenal job of having this team prepared. And from the word jump.
I have a question, Unc. Do you still, is it considered underachieving the fact that you've had all these quality players year in and year out, is it still underachieving simply because you haven't won a national championship, but the seasons have been a success?
Ocho.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
Ocho, think about it. You got offensive player of the year, offensive player of the year, offensive player of the year. Think about it. You got quarterbacks, C.J. Stroud, Justin Fields, and you had Dwayne Haskins in succession.
Yes, sir.
You think about it, you had Jackson Smith and Jigba, you had Garrett Wilson, you had Olave, you had Marvin Harrison Jr. in succession, and a lot of those guys played together. You had a Chase Young, you had Nick Bosa, a Jeff Okudah, Denzel Ward. Come on, bro.
Yeah. I'm with you now.
Bro, that's 10. Bro, that's 10 first-round picks right there.
And
I said the same thing about Coach Saban. Coach Saban said that the fans in Ohio State are psychotic. I asked Coach Saban this. If you had consistently lost to Auburn and you got Julio and you got Calvin Ridley and you got Judy and you got Ruggs and you got Waddle and you got Devontae Smith and you got Amari Cooper and you got those quarterbacks, you got Tua, you got Bryce Young, you got what's the guy that went to New England?
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones. Okay, you got him. Now you got, and plus you got what's the guy? Derrick Henry, and you got Najee Harris. You got Damian Harris. Bro, and I ain't gonna talk about the defense. I ain't gonna talk about what they got over there.
That wasn't fair.
And you don't win no national championship. Even after a couple of years of Coach Saban, and Alabama fans, y'all know this. Even after a couple of years of not winning the national championship, after he had done 1 4 or 5, they said Coach Saban had lost his fastball. That man had got 4 or 5 national championships, and they saying that with the talent. You got Quinn Williams, and you got Allen, and you got all those guys. See, man, when you have that level of talent, Ocho, I mean, think about Alabama, the level of talent that they put out every single year. Ohio State ain't far behind. The only difference is Alabama has won in the last 15 years, has won 6 national championships, played for another 3. That's the difference between them and Ohio State.
You know what I would love to hear, especially in the chat, and then probably people that are going to watch this after the fact and hear us talk about this and saying that Ohio State is underachieved based on the level of talent that they've had in succession there without winning a national championship. I'm curious to hear rebuttals and with the, not excuses, but the reason behind why they haven't won will be. And, you know, people always find a way, they come up with something. I don't want to call them excuses, but there are valid reasons depending on what they may be. For whatever reason, I'm curious to hear what they have to say.
Quinn Ewers has received a $6 million offer to enter the transfer portal rather than head into the NFL draft this spring, according to On3. Multiple Power 4 schools are working to get Ewers in the portal ahead of his final year of college eligibility. $6 million for 1 year, Ocho.
Yeah, he got to come back. He has to come back and continue to work on his game, because when you watch Ewers, I need your play to pop out on the screen. I need it to pop out. When you watch the Joe Burrow in college, you watch the C.J. Stroud in college, when you watch other quarterbacks like the Cam Wards, they pop out on screen. There's something special about those individuals. Special. So he needs to come back another year, no matter where it is, and, you know, pop out on.
I agree with you, Ocho. I don't see special. I see a good college quarterback, but I don't see special. I don't see, man, a must have a guy that's boy, if they get him, he's gonna drastically change their fortunes. I don't see that. Now, let's see. I mean, he might come back and get better, because nobody saw that. If you'd asked teams that were going to look at Joe Burrow before he came back for his senior year, Joe Burrow didn't seem special, but he came back for that year. He was special. Mac Jones, hell, if Mac Jones don't come and get that 1 year, Mac Jones ain't no first round pick. Sometimes, look, and I don't blame people well, look what, okay. Now, can he make it happen? You throwing to Devontae, you got Najee, you got Waddle. You know, you got a very, very talented team. It just goes to show you just how good he was, because he kept Bryce Young on the bench. And we see Bryce Young the next year won the Heisman.
Hey, and also look at the talent. This is what I like about Bryce too. Now we saw Bryce win the Heisman, but you look at the talent that Bryce had around him. So
Yeah, for sure.
he got to Carolina. He thought something was wrong with him. Then he gets benched. He come back after getting benched, and I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know what type of prayer he said. Now he's back to playing great football, looking like the Bryce Young we saw in college. Even in losing, even in losing efforts as a team and as a quarterback, he looks completely, totally different than he did when he first started.
He did. He does. They just need to give him some talent. If you look at the quarterbacks that perform well, look at C.J. Stroud. Yeah. Look at what he was throwing to Tank Dell and Nico Collins. Look at what he was throwing to. Okay? Look at Caleb Williams. He got Roma Dunze, first-round pick. He got DJ Moore, who just signed a contract extension. He got Keenan Allen. Look at what Daniels.
Yeah.
Jaden, look at what he's throwing to. Damn, I mean, y'all want the man to come out. Hey, I don't care. Even Peyton Manning had Marvin Harrison when he got there. He had Marvin Harrison. He had Ken Dilger. I mean, and he had Marshall Faulk.
That's crazy.
Yes, as a rookie. He had 2 first-ballot Hall of Famers as a rookie.
That's a lucky draw.
Ken Dilger had been to Pro Bowls. There's another, I forget the guy's name. Oh, my goodness, the other tight end. As a matter of fact, the Colts had 2 tight ends to make the Pro Bowl. Mark, what's his name? Go back and look at 90. Teddy, stop scratching the couch. I can't think of the other bro. He was what's that dude's name? Because I traded helmets with Ken Dilger at the Pro Bowl one year. I'm trying to think, what year was that? Hell, I don't even remember. Pro Bowl tight end. No, in like the 90s. Yeah. Marcus Pollard. Thank you, Chad. Marcus Pollard.
I remember Marcus Pollard. Mm-hmm. Hey, I ain't heard that name in a minute, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, y'all want these guys to come out here and do spectacular things, but go back and look at your favorite quarterback and see what they were throwing to. Y'all do realize that when Mahomes became the starter, y'all know who he was throwing to, right? He had Tyreek. He had Sammy Watkins. He had Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
Could I interest you in any of those guys?
You know,
2 of those guys are going to the Hall of Fame. Tyreek and Kelce going to go to the Hall of Fame. That's what he was throwing to. Look at what Big Ben had to throw to.
Ooh. No, look what he's always had to throw to.
Thank you.
Hey, the Pittsburgh Steelers are just like Cincinnati when it comes to receivers. You know that? You notice that? They always have good receivers come through that channel no matter what. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, always.
Yeah. They had Plax. They had Hines. What's your guy that won the Super Bowl MVP?
Santonio Holmes.
Holmes. I mean, bro, y'all make it seem like, I mean, yeah, give Bryce Young those type of weapons and let's see. You got to give a guy something to work with. Marino, I think Duper and Clayton got there with Marino.
Mm-hmm.
In 83. They might have came in 80. It might have been 83. They might have got there together. But you got to get a guy something to work with. Damn. Penn State did not want Jeanty to get that record on their watch. Jeanty entered the game needing 131 yards of breaking the record, of tying the record, 132 to break it. Barry had 26-29, said in 1988. Penn State defense stifled Jeanty, holding him to a season-low 104 yards rushing. It's his first time not rushing for at least 125 yards in a game this season. He finished 28 yards shy of breaking Barry Sanders' record.
Hey, listen, they would pop a young bull like that, man. They would let him have it. Now, I thought, honestly, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I didn't think he was gonna do well against Penn State because the level of competition he was playing at or with or against, for that matter, in his conference. But he looked pretty goddamn good. Listen,
Yeah,
He was breaking tackles.
he ran
Ran
hard,
very
Ocho.
hard after contact. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how many yards he had after contact, but
Most of them.
hey, he was hard to bring down. The first guy never made the tackle. The first guy never brought him down for the most part.
Yeah. But like I said, Ocho, you don't want that record. And my thing was that I said this on First Take. I said, look, I know what Ashton Jeanty is. Let me tell you what I'm going to do. If that quarterback goes out there and throw for 350 and 3 touchdowns, I'm going to go to the middle of the field, shake his hand, say, congratulations, young man. Good luck moving forward. But I refuse to let Jeanty run their ass to a victory. That's not going to happen. And they felt the quarterback couldn't beat them throwing the football.
Yeah.
And he couldn't. Because, when you take that running game away, because they wanted to give him the ball. But I thought, and the problem is they fell behind.
Yeah.
You fall behind, Ocho. That game was about to get really out of hand. Had the quarterback, Aller, he's doing the right thing by coming back because he's not very good, I don't think, in my eyes, watching him play for the 3 or 4 games that I've seen him play. He is average. He's an average college quarterback. There's nothing special about him. But if he doesn't fumble that ball and they're about to go up 21-0, this thing about to get out of hand. Ugly. And now and that's what happened. When you get ahead like that, guess what? You take him out of the running game.
You don't have no choice.
Now you got But Jeanty, he ran hard, but hey, give Penn State credit. They say, we don't want you to break that record on us. And they did a great job of neutralizing him. Look, they need to go back, and everybody that played in the bowl game, they need to add those yards to the total. You can do it. Just add Barry what he did in the Holiday Bowl. Just go look it up. Barry had like 225 in the Holiday Bowl. Barry's record is really like 12 games, 2,800 yards, and like 40+ touchdowns. They didn't count the bowl. See, they didn't count the bowl games back then, Ocho, like they do now. Barry had like 20 carries, and they took him out. Barry could have had another 300-yard game. They talk about they were taking Jeanty out. Go look at some of Barry's games, and when they took him out. Barry was having 300-yard games.
That's crazy.
Look at what he did to Oklahoma. Look at what he did to Nebraska, what he did to Missouri. Go back and look at Barry's stats. Even if Jeanty had broke his record, the greatest college rushing season is Barry Sanders. I think it's one of the 2 best seasons in the history. Joe Burrow, that 5,060 touchdown season, and then Barry Sanders, 2,800 yards and 40+ touchdowns. If y'all just go back and look at the numbers that Barry put up, and you'll get a better appreciation of Barry Sanders' college career. Yeah. And his sophomore year, he backed up Thurman Thomas. Yeah. Barry didn't start. Thurman started. Barry ran back punts and kickoffs. Yeah. Let that sink in. Many of you believe Barry is the greatest running back in NFL history.
And he had to sit.
Started 1 year.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It was what Joe Burrow did that season there. You're probably not going to see it again because you're probably not going to be able to find 2 receivers like Chase and Jefferson. And then when you combine Marshall, and then you had the tight end, Randy Moss' son, Thaddeus. You had Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You had Joe Burrow throwing the ball. You had an offensive line that was the best in college football. You got the perfect storm.
Yeah.
And you get the perfect storm. You saw it. I mean, the guy threw for 60 touchdowns.
That's
60. And look at some of the stats, what he did to Georgia, what he did to Clemson.
Hey.
What he did to Alabama. The Sugar Bowl between the Georgia Bulldogs and the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame was postponed, and a senseless act of terrorism. And so before we get into the show, we want to have a moment of silence for those that were impacted and all the New Orleanians that was impacted, the family, friends, and loved ones of this senseless and tragic. So we want to take a few moments to pause to heartfelt condolences to those that were impacted by this. I know sometimes it's really hard for you to try to wrap your mind around something that's so senseless. I would encourage you to be vigilant, but not be afraid. Go about your normal life, because that's what terrorists, cowards try to do. They try to put you in fear for your normal everyday activities. But we should not. We should be vigilant, but we should not be afraid. As we know, there is something that a person that sits high, or spirit, or whatever you believe, that sits high and looks low. He is the King of Kings. He's the Lord of Lords. He's the Alpha and the Omega. He's the omnipotent one. And I know right now it's hard to understand, but I encourage God to give us all strength and understanding that what transpired today to start 2025, someone wanted their moment, and they took the coward's way to do just that. To all those that's impacted, all people that lost loved ones, that lost family, that lost friends, the Nightcap crew, along with many others, sends our heartfelt thoughts and prayers. We pray that you gain comfort. We pray that you have understanding, and in time, and only when you're ready, hopefully you find peace and solace in this. Ocho, my heart breaks.
Yeah.
I can only imagine receiving the news that some people received, that this had happened. But I do understand, but I do sincerely in all my heart believe there is a higher power and a higher being, and we don't understand. Everything is not meant for us here to understand. But I do believe sunshine follows rain.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really dark right now for a lot of people in New Orleans and for the city of New Orleans, because I know you're mourning, I know you're hurting. But just know you're strong, and think about what you've already overcome from Katrina and a lot of other things that have happened in that city. You're built for this. We're built for this. And like all things, we'll get through this. Prime rips reporters that Shadeur wouldn't want to play for the Browns or the Titans. It will be multiple idiots that will say things that totally aren't true regarding I would like Shadeur and Shiloh to play in the NFL. If I were to say it directly to whom it may concern, not an attention seeker, I don't know NFL commish personally. I do know NFL commish personally. Drop. He like mic drop. Look. I hadn't talked to Prime in a while because he's getting ready for the bowl games. I don't want to bother him. I'm gonna bother his ass now. He ain't got no bowl game to play. Yeah, he ain't got no bowl game to play for. So I'm gonna bother his ass tomorrow. I'm gonna call him tomorrow.
I talked to Prime yesterday or day before yesterday. He was checking on me, right?
Yeah.
About my situation. You already know what I'm talking about. I don't need to go in depth. He's like, everything good on there? I said, yeah, everything good. He said, man, I'm gonna hit Unc. I was waiting on my spirits to get back up because we lost the bowl. So I needed a few days to myself. So he hit me, and I said everything is good. Everything's good. So you know what? I'm gonna come on there with you guys. I was like, nah, don't come on. Let's save it. Let's save it for February 6th.
Yeah.
Let's save it for February 6th.
Nah, all he want to do is clown me. Nope. That's all he want to do. Because that's all he do when he call. He send me a text. So no.
That's gonna be live, boy.
The thing is, in times like, I think I read something where he said y'all forgot, y'all was talking like this, but y'all forgot I got time today. Mm-hmm. The only thing I tell time is like when I'm going to 25, I ain't chasing no lies.
Yeah.
I'm not going to chase it.
I'm
not going to shoot it down. I'm not going to try to refute it. Whatever y'all believe, run with that.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Now I'm going to see how long it's going, because that's one thing we know about a lie. Watch how quick it disappear.
Yeah.
Watch how quick it disappear.
You know what I don't like too? Now getting back to Prime, Shadeur, and whatever reporter says, he wouldn't want to play for the Browns. I mean, why even write something like that? It has to come from somewhere, or you just making it up.
A lot of times people want to be the first to report something. Mm-hmm. Because if you're second, the first man to climb Mount Everest, the first man to put a man foot on the moon. Right. It's not the second man. That's not the second guy they remember. It's the first guy. It's Roger Bannister that broke the sub 4 minute mile. Right. It was Edmund Hillary And notice the Sherpa that scaled Mount Everest.
Right.
Who remembers the second guy, Ocho?
Yeah.
Ocho, the number 17 BYU Cougars defeated the number 23 Colorado Buffaloes 36-14. Colorado was held to 210 total yards, only 2 net yards rushing. The Buffaloes were shut out in the first half while being limited to 61 total yards. They had 90 yards in the fourth quarter, with the Cougars leading by 29. Shadeur was sacked 3 times through 2 interceptions. He passed for 208 yards, 2 touchdowns, while completing 16 of 23 passes. Travis Hunter had 4 receptions for 106 yards, including a 43-yard touchdown, electric touchdown in the third quarter.
Talk to me. Because
Ocho.
BYU ain't no slouch, boy. At all.
They're not a slouch, but
yeah,
you got to have a better effort than this. They were never in the game. You give up a punt return for a touchdown. You give up an onside kick. It's Coach Prime's job to have this team prepared and ready to play better than what they showed up to do. It's really that simple. Let's not make it that, they had a chance. No, they didn't. No, after the first 2 series, Ocho, you knew Colorado didn't have no chance of winning this game.
It looked as if they didn't belong. It almost looked like they didn't belong, as if they were the JV team and the JV team is scrimmaging against varsity. For some reason, BYU just looked faster. They look a little bit more dominant at the point of attack. I'm like, well, something ain't right.
Yes.
Okay.
I thought the exact same thing. I was like, well, damn.
If
they running circles around you. I'm like,
wait a minute now. Now, if my memory serves me correct, and I'm thinking of the old BYU and not thinking of the new BYU, the culture over there has changed. The players over there have changed, and the boy flying around.
Man, I thought my TV had glitched. I said, they got them boys fast. I said, man, ain't no way they moving that fast. Man, that dude hit that cone on that Ocho. That dude hit that cone on the punt return.
Nah, he
was like, is anybody gonna get close to him? And then then they kick the field goals, come back with an onside kick. See? Yeah. Because you know what I see on film? I see when they kick the ball, y'all leaving before the ball kick. Okay, we got a surprise for you.
Right.
That's how you block a punt. That's how you block a PAT. That's why you do onside. You study. Hey, the L3, the L4, they leave real quick. Before the ball's even kicked, they already turn it to get back in position. We can hit onside. And that's the perfect time, because guess what? See, if you down by 5 points in the fourth quarter, they're expecting it. You're not expecting that in the first quarter, are you? That's why, remember how New Orleans got the Colts in the Super Bowl with the onside? Open the second half with it? You're not expecting it.
Hold on, it's a big.
Yeah, but Ocho, I'm watching this game. I'm like, damn. I say these DBs, they did these receivers up. I'm like, they in their hip pocket, and Colorado resorted back, not staying on their blocks, and it was just bad. It was just bad. It was bad. It was bad. I'm like, damn.
I think they had too much time.
I mean, look, they had a great season, but Ocho, they had a great season. You didn't finish it like you wanted. I commend Shadeur for playing. I commend Travis for going out there and playing. Boy, I was like, I didn't Ocho, I ain't gonna lie to you. I did not. This Colorado looked like the Colorado that lost to Nebraska. Remember they lost to Nebraska early in the season on the road, Ocho? And Nebraska put that opener.
Definitely.
That's what
the funny thing about it, they look like a team that wasn't prepared, but knowing Prime and understand how his preparation works and the time that he's put in with the players and having a great game plan, having a great scheme, they just weren't able to execute it the right way. And that's on the players. The onus of that is on the players, but obviously there was the main problem where it would always point to the coach when you know that's not the fact. But man, listen, they had a hell of a season. I'm glad Travis Hunter and Shadeur were able to come out healthy. I wish them all the best too, man. I wish them all
That's
the
it.
best.
Yep. You wanna get the win. Somebody got to lose. The thing I like about college football now, there are no more
Mhm.
ties. There used to be ties in college football. That sucked. Uh, ties like kissing a pretty girl through a screen porch. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You got the screen up there and she on the other side.
Nothing.
Ain't no lips touching. Ain't nothing.
Mhm.
I ain't trying to tie nobody. I don't want no tie. Tie your shoes. Damn sure ain't tying no football game.
Yeah.
We don't go out there and compete Ocho for an hour. And then all of a sudden, okay, that's it, guys. Hell nah. But congratulations, BYU. We don't want to take anything away from you. This is look. Obviously, we did a lot of covering of Colorado. Coach Prime is a friend of the show. But you guys, y'all put it on them. Y'all opened up a can. They went with the purpose. They showed up. Ocho, they showed up. They showed up with the sole
Mhm.
purpose of doing what they did to Colorado. They say the world's gonna be watching
Yeah.
Colorado, but make them remember us. We remember you,
They
bro.
did.
We remember because y'all
did.
did a number on them. Y'all did a number on them.
Yes, sir.
Ocho, Cam Ward sets the NCAA Division I mark with his 156 touchdown pass in the Miami loss, but doesn't come out in the second half. After the loss, Miami coach Mario Cristobal was asked about the decision for Ward to sit. All meetings with player
Mhm.
and decision like that,
Right.
we made them private. We kept them private, so I prefer not to answer any questions as it relates to that. But I know he played his best while he was in there. Is it a
You know,
good look or a bad
when I
look?
think about it,
I'll go first. It's a
it's a
terrible
good
look.
look. The fact that he even played.
Mhm.
And he played, I'm not sure if something may have happened in the first half where it kind of scared him away from wanting to play in the second half. But if he played the first half, you might as well finish the second. Now that's just my thought. I'm already I'm already in there. I mean,
Yes.
I'm just you want to win the game. You play to win the game. If you don't want to leave your teammates hanging. If you're gonna start the game, you might as well finish it. I mean that's just my thinking. Yeah. So I don't
I think
understand.
everybody's thinking like that,
I think
Ocho.
something might have happened.
And I can,
Something might have happened. You don't
I don't. I think he got out of. He's like,
right.
I'm unscathed in the first half. I'm unscathed. I ain't gonna tempt
At
fate.
all. There
But my
would be
thing
no
is just don't play.
yeah. I mean, if you're gonna
Just don't
start
play at
something, you
all.
gotta
No,
finish
just
it.
don't play at
That's
all.
how that's how I look at it.
You got to. And I think the thing, I agree with you. And I think scouts and I think pro personnel are gonna,
Right.
they're gonna look. They're not gonna look favorable upon that decision because they're saying if you're
Yeah.
there, you took yourself out of the game. But the myth, hold on, Ocho. But he said all meetings with players and decisions like that, we made
Mm.
them in private. We keep them in private. So I prefer not to answer any questions as it relate to that. If that was his decision, he would have said that was my
Right.
decision, and we're going to go with
Mhm.
that. Clearly, it was not his decision because he
Right.
doesn't want the kid to look bad. I give him credit, but I think
Mhm.
the average person knows that the kid made a decision, and that's his decision to make. But for me,
Yeah.
if I start, I'm gonna finish. Either I'm
And at
gonna play
all.
the
Yeah.
whole game
Yeah.
or I'm not playing at
Listen,
all.
I kind of understand it, but I kind of don't. It kind of makes sense, but then when I sit back and think about it, it really doesn't either. What's the point of playing 2 quarters and not playing the second? You know, the made them. I don't know.
Thank you, Ocho.
So
Thank you.
that's why I keep saying I think something must have happened in the first half. That's why I keep saying that because there's no way.
It did
Yeah,
happen. He
and
threw 3 touchdown passes
especially
and
when
he
I
didn't
think
get
about
hurt.
it. When I
That's what
think about
happened.
it as a competitor, once you're in that environment and you competing, ain't no way in hell you coming out.
I ain't leaving.
Absolutely not. I mean,
Nope.
it's just in your nature. When you get hurt, they can barely
Right.
pull players out the game.
Right. I mean, for a guy to even
Yeah.
if he's hurt, Ocho, he has to be really
Right.
hurt where he feel he can't do his
Yeah.
job, or he's going to end up hurting
Mhm.
himself or putting a team in
Nah.
harm's way. Other than that, the guy's not coming out. That's the heart. That's why they started having spotters with
Right.
concussions
Mhm.
because guys wouldn't come out of the game, or they would lie and say, "Nah, I'm good." But now they have, because
Uh-huh.
sometimes the one thing that we do know about this, Ocho,
Yeah, you do.
sometimes you have to protect
Especially
us from
athletes.
ourselves. You got to protect us from ourselves. But for me, I think this is a bad look. I think scouts, it's going to be very interesting because I can assure you, you and I have we've been in those meetings at the combine where they go in there and they're going to say, son, tell us what you was thinking. Why didn't you play the second half? Now, just so you know, your head coach is going to tell them. So don't go in there and think you pulling the wool over somebody's eye.
They know.
Ocho, they don't talk to
They know
coaches.
everything. But in his case, in his defense, when they turn the film on, the entirety of the season, you know what you're getting. Outside of what he pulled tonight in that second half, as a quarterback,
Ocho,
any team that may need one, and it's a few of them, up in them first 5 picks, you know what you're getting as a quarterback.